meet Steve downstairs. He's already gone. Steve was here first, but Rex always gets in front of him, gets to the door first because he's very enthusiastic to start his day every day. Oh, look, more room in the yard. Someone moved some of that summer furniture to its winter resting place. 58 degrees, a little chilly, 10 o'clock in the morning, up late this morning, October 6th. It's a Sunday, beautiful moon in our evening sky tonight. If we can get rid of these clouds. Where did these clouds come from? This was not part of the plan to have clouds coming in off the ocean. Well, it's actually more than that, more than clouds coming in off the ocean. Front that came in 2 days ago kind of stalled and left us with some low-level clouds that are backing from the north. Wind from the north, you can tell by the flags flying at the top of those masts up close to 100 feet above the surface of the deck of Lynx, the tall ship still in town. There goes some dockage headed up below the Four River Bridge for its winter storage. Winter can't be stopped, but it's still autumn, and we're on the autumnal side of the weather this morning here in Weymouth. These clouds just kind of appeared over the last hour or two. They look at the satellite imagery. The clouds are really thick over Maine. What's going on there? There's high pressure. It's supposed to be sinking air and sunshine. Exceptions to all rules. That's the front that's stalled. You can see western New England is still perfectly sunny, and then there's another front off to the west that's going to change things around abruptly tonight and tomorrow. So there's that little hole of sunshine. Now, if you look at the temperature map from about 8 o'clock this morning, it was chilly. 37 degrees from Morrisville, Vermont to Fitchburg, Mass was even 37 this morning. And there wasn't much wind this morning, but it is fairly breezy here near the shore. What is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure. And we still, and it's even stronger than the last few days, have high pressure over Greenland that is pressing south all the way, believe it or not, through New England, and then down into the southeastern United States. And the southern end of that high pressure system is actually over northern Mexico. What is wind? Air moving from that high to low, and low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico is tropical storm, just about Hurricane Milton. So it's more than just a tropical event. There's a barotropic part to this too. What does that mean? That means there's a weather front also stalled over the Gulf of Mexico, which isn't going to help for the forecast, and it is not going to help for the rainfall. Maybe it'll help diminish the intensity of Michael as it gets Milton as it gets closer. I think I accidentally said Michael several times yesterday also. Milton as it gets close to Florida over the next couple days. Planes taking off to the east again. That's really pretty, huh? Look at that. Gorgeous. And fairly quiet. I like the quiet planes. So if you're new here, there's a lot of TK-isms, and one of the TK-isms, what do you see? Yeah, I say that a lot. What do you see? Something up in there. That's a euonymus. This is called the burning bush, and most of your burning bushes are red, but mine is not yet. So a TK-ism is something like, I say, what is wind? Air moving from high to low. That's a TK-ism. And there's another one for viewers that are new here called the high barometer cold versus low barometer cold. When you have high barometer cold, you get an inversion. And at night, radiational cooling with a clear, calm wind, the temperature is coldest in the valleys. Bakersville, Connecticut this morning, Dennis Miller says it was 32 degrees with frost. And we got a great image from Eric in New Hampshire with the family and the dog on top of Great Hill with the inversion fog below the hill. So it was warmer on top of the hill. And that's what I call high barometer cold. Colder in the valleys, warmer up in the sky. And it's illustrated great by looking at the Mount Washington Auto Road temperature profile this morning. At the base of the Auto Road near Pinkham Notch, it was in the mid-30s. And you get up to just about 3,000 feet, it was 50 degrees. So there's a 15 degree there. And even the summit of Mount Washington was in the 40s. So places, your backyard was colder than the summit of Mount Washington for a lot of New Englanders this morning. And note the wind on Mount Washington, 4 miles per hour. there's less wind on the summit of Mount Washington than there is going through my backyard right now. We're just on the edge of somewhat stronger high pressure over Nova Scotia than over Boston. So that creates a little pressure gradient, and there's literally about one isobar here in eastern New England. So in eastern New England, by the ocean especially, we are on the cooler side of a beautiful Sunday. I think these clouds are going to tend to evaporate as the sun gets a little higher in the sky. And so what does that mean? I've been talking about surf for so long. That means if you want the best surf conditions today, head towards Rhode Island. Here's the image. Now, wind from the northeast is offshore in Narragansett, Rhode Island this morning, where the swell from Kirk and others is arrived. It's a 4-foot swell at 14-second period at the Block Island buoy this morning. So the Kirk swell has arrived, and this onshore wind, I would love to say that this is going to go away, but I don't see it going away. I think the wind should diminish. Last night during the evening it was calm, and then when I got home from the concert, the wind was actually 10 to 15 miles an hour here at my house last night. So it's kind of confounding the weatherman and the weather forecast. Under the center of a high pressure system, it's usually calm, and that was the case. All right, enough about this wind. What's going to happen next? We'll get to the hurricane situation in a few minutes, but we have a change from high barometer cold, that would be colder down near the ground, to low barometer cold that's going to come in over the next several days. Low barometer cold is very unstable, and that means it's warmer down in the lower elevations and colder up in the sky. And so we're going to see a complete reversal in the profile temperature of the atmosphere over New England over the next several days, and it has to do with this front that's coming from the south side of a new storm that's stalling. We talked about the old storm that stalled in central Canada over the last 10 days. Well, this new one's going to stall over Ontario, and it's going to send a powerful front through New England tonight and tomorrow. And when I say powerful, I mean it's going to generate rain, probably more in the wet department than wind department, but how much rain? So let's look at the radar this morning. You can see it's a pretty solid line of showers and storms there from Ontario into about Michigan or so, and that's going to be strengthening, and there's actually a chance for some severe weather in western New York today. We're going to have severe thunderstorms with a slight chance of a tornado, believe it or not. That's from the Severe Storm Prediction Center. And if we go to the HRRR and track that precipitation, here it is with the showers looking more and more organized as the day goes on. Then right about sunset, about 6 o'clock, the showers come into Vermont. And it looks like the front is trying to diminish a little bit, but then it slows down and kind of stalls and strengthens. There may be a wave of low pressure developing right over Boston tomorrow. And then tomorrow you get showers and thunderstorms over southeastern New England and into Maine. And in some cases, downpours with some thunder. And that's still with us tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So showers and thunderstorms are likely tomorrow. Time out for a second. T-Rex. He's a little trapped over here. This way, Rex. I moved most of the yard furniture, but of course, whatever I leave, he manages to go around the get tangled around it. All right. So the quantitative precipitation forecast with the HRRR, here's how much rain could fall out of the sky and land in your rain gauge over the next 36 hours. And there it is. The blue is close to a ½ inch. Then you get to that slight violet color. Now you're talking about an inch. So there are some isolated amounts of an inch to 1.5 inches from Maine to eastern Massachusetts. And then if we put a number on there at the end of the run, and I put the cursor right over Brockton, Massachusetts, is this going to be right? A 1.57 inch rainfall, mostly during the day tomorrow in Brockton. I think I'll take the under on that. But whenever you see this guidance, it's just a rough estimate, and somebody may end up with 1.5 inches of rain, but you can't say it's going to be right over Brockton. I mean, it could be 30, 40, 50 miles either side of that. That's the way that high-resolution next-day guidance works. T-Rex is loving this brief break of sunshine here, so am I. All right, in the much bigger picture, we're going to watch another hurricane go into Florida. This is just horrible news. National Hurricane Center issuing advisories on Kirk, way out there, Leslie, way out there, both hurricanes. By the time I get on the YouTube video on produced today, is probably going to be a hurricane strengthening, but the National Hurricane Center says it's a difficult forecast for Michael because not only is it a tropical storm, there's also a front stalled over the Gulf of Mexico and another front over Florida. So you have fronts and a hurricane, and that was the huge complicating factor and the reason that North Carolina was so hard hit and Tennessee so hard hit with the rain, because there was a front already stalled there and it had already rained 5 to 10 inches or more before the hurricane even got there. So it was more than just a hurricane. That's going to be the case with Michael, as it's already raining in Florida. And so strengthened to a major hurricane, category 3 or higher, and then it could fluctuate in intensity as it comes toward the shore on Wednesday, as drier air on the north side and some shear tries to impact the storm. Drier being colder. You know, the fuel for hurricanes is warm, humid air. That's why they form. They form over the tropics. They deliver energy from the tropics to the northern latitudes, and at the same time the northern latitudes deliver the cold toward the southern latitudes, and that is what weather is. And it's going to play out very fascinating over the next 10 days here in the Northeast. I'll show you one more image from the Ocean Prediction Center of the current state of the seas, and this shows you the satellite imagery and the height of the waves in feet. So the 4 feet right along the coast in New England, then it builds quickly. You've got also the remnant of Helene out there, combined with the high pressure over Greenland, forcing the air down from the north across the entire North Atlantic. And right at the center of Kirk, that's 51-foot seas at the center of Kirk. So a hurricane that's not really bothering anybody out there in the middle of the ocean. Well, I can't say that for sure, because I'm sure there are ships out there that are being wary of that one. Is emanating a huge groundswell across the entire North Atlantic Ocean, including the nice little swell that's arrived in New England, and is going to continue to build with a 14-second period going to a 15-second period, and 4 foot going to 6 foot. All right, so now let's do the play-by-play of all of this using the Pivotal Weather Euro Weather Model, ECMWF, and put it in motion. And here's the front coming at New England, and with the rain tomorrow in the Gulf of Mexico, hurricane is strengthening and through the 970s. And again, fluctuations in intensity are going to be really fast and furious over the next 48 hours. Milton is such a tiny hurricane. All right, I'm going to pause it now on Wednesday morning, and the hurricane is coming onshore just north or near Tampa with a central pressure somewhere in the 970s. That's just a rough estimate. And here in the Northeast, our front will have gone by and stalled, and you see those blue dashed lines. Those are the upper level sort of thicknesses, but they also indicate which way the wind is going. So it's going in circles over southeastern Canada, and the blue lines, 540, are cold enough for snow at the tops of our mountains. So while southern New England in low barometer cold is going to end up turning warmer, the mountaintops are going to turn colder, and that's why we may have some snowflakes going on at the tops of the mountains here on Wednesday, Tuesday into Wednesday, maybe Thursday, and it could be cold enough that some of the ski areas turn on some of their snow guns. Now we get a timeout for cuteness right here for a moment. I know this is getting wicked long, 14, 15 minutes. All right, put it back in motion now. The hurricane's gonna go across Florida, and it's gonna be the second major rainstorm and second in a couple of days, and second major hurricane in 10 days. So that's horrible. I'm wrestling with T-Rex this whole time. Let me stop it again next Saturday morning. Saturday morning, the hurricane is dissipated east of the Bahamas, it looks like. And here in the Northeast, we have high pressure to the southwest. Now, when a high goes to our southwest, it warms up. And so with a westerly wind, we could be back up into the maybe low 70s briefly on Friday or Saturday. But there's a front. You can't really make it out. You see all those black lines? Very windy. The storm that's north of us is going to send another cold front down here next weekend, and there's a high pressure system just north of Lake Superior that's going to be trying to push colder air in, and that high pressure system that's over West Virginia is trying to push warmer air in here, and there's going to be quite the battle zone with that front kind of strengthening right over us next weekend. It's a serious gradient, but it doesn't show too much rain till we stop it here again Sunday morning. Sunday morning now, it does show some rain with the front right over about New York City or so, and much colder air coming back after briefly retreating on Thursday, Friday. Colder air coming back with the 540 line coming back down into eastern New England next Sunday into Monday. And we don't really see that strong storm like we saw yesterday on the runs for now Columbus Day, but we do show a cool wind here with lows going across Canada and rapid fire changes in the weather and rapid fire changes in the weather forecast. So that's all I can say for sure is that it's going to change. Everything changes. The colors of this invasive vine over here have my attention. See, I love, you know, the forsythia. There's the forsythia color, and then here's this invasive vine. I forget what it's called. It's really pretty. Is it woody clematis? I can't remember. It's a beautiful invasive pain to get rid of. So you got to come out here and do this. It's a fun project for this Sunday afternoon. If you're not busy apple picking, I am not one of those people. I don't go apple picking. I have friends with apple trees, and occasionally I'll go to their backyard and they send us apples, so that's really nice of people sharing. Oh, and speaking of fall fun festivities, the Topsfield Fair, I forgot to yesterday morning congratulate Henry Swenson on his new record. More than 1,300 pounds. What was it? 1,349, something like that, Henry? Your giant pumpkin, personal best, biggest pumpkin ever, and you're such a young man. Are you going to hit the 1 ton mark here by the time you're 30 years old? Congratulations, Henry Swenson, Topsfield Fair. That should be fun today. And also King Richard's Fair, and so many things are going on. And these clouds do look like they're thinning out a little bit right now. All right, and more yesterday, went back on the harbor. Went in Boston Harbor, took the ferry in, saw Sebastian Maniscalco last night at the Garden. Not supposed to make videos of him, although I think some people did. I respected that rule, but I made some videos going underneath the planes there, going through Boston Harbor, and then in Boston. Went to South Boston yesterday. My niece, they've got an apartment in South Boston. I don't spend much time there at all, but it looked kind of happening. And they don't have a car. They don't need a car, and I'm glad that's such a pain in the butt to get to and park around South Boston, but it's fun to walk around. And then the night at the Garden, and going back out to the Greatest Bar, and I met Billy Fairweather, the owner of the Greatest Bar in Boston across from the Garden. His name is Billy Fairweather. I've known Billy since the Daisy Buchanan days, and he wasn't there, but his son Dan Fairweather was there and said hello as we had some nachos and late night beer before our long Uber ride home. And I got home and that flag was from the north, and I was disheartened that it was so windy here at the house last night because I knew it was going to mess up my Sunday forecast. All right, we have another really long video, and I appreciate you all watching, and we'll be back again tomorrow with more and more and more. Say goodbye. See you later, Steve. See ya. Saturday, October 5th, as the rain departs. Hey, Steve, what are you looking at? Look over there. There's a little bit of a rainbow that just formed right over Winthrop. 1 p.m. You want to go out? You always want to go out. Doesn't matter if you just came 2 seconds ago. You want to go out. I want to go out. So that rainbow is gone we had earlier. And so are the rain clouds. Now we have instability cumulus, still a bit of a front right over us, but you can see the breeze has gone calm again. We've got people on the water, and kayaks, and sailboats, and motorboats. And I'm thinking, Danny, we should go out for a stand-up paddle. What do you think? These clouds will probably evaporate also. Just great stretch of weather here in New England. Oh, they got a ferry there too. That's not where we're going. Hey, pull over. Can I get a ride? Hey, can I get a ride? Did not make the SUP. Going into town. Evaporating clouds. Should be a beautiful moon. Just past 4 o'clock. We're gonna go in the flying cloud. I tell you what, yes. 4:45 into the sun. Once I get into Boston, I won't be able to see the sun or the moon, I don't think, because of all the tall buildings. And I'm not allowed to make a video at a Sebastian Maniscalco concert, so this could be it for the day. So this is a provisional end of the day video. Of course, and a time lapse to come. I'm sure I'll find more. Maybe we'll see the moon.
That's ugly, man. I mean, if you want to be a Bond movie, that's cool, but... Hold on.
We were on the boat, and I'm like, wow, I'm not happy. Oh, shit. Sorry, Jesus. You gotta take a picture of that freaking answer. Whatever you're doing, drop it.
How big your boat is. Somebody else's boat inside their boat is bigger.
Once we start walking.
And then the kind of regular people over here. Kind of. And it's a catamaran, no less. Thing was flying. What's that thing? What's this thing? Restroom. How's it going? Wow. Service. Doesn't have figure. Clouds are evaporating. Cosmos. Massive sunflowers. I want one of those seeds right there. Hello.
I don't know. He goes up to all kinds of dogs. It's so funny.
No, he's the one that's
Oh, he's afraid. Oh, the little ones.
of him, yeah.
Ah.
Baloo, why don't you pick on somebody your own size?
All right. So.
Can't make a video inside, might as well make one outside. Not allowed to make a video of Sebastian Maniscalco, but can make a video of the champions. He's hilarious, but we can't make videos, so this is what we get. So the show is over now. Video. It was awesome. Sebastian Maniscalco. I gotta say, these guys are on the ball. This is happening fast. This is a great idea for a business. I don't know who thought of it, but it's working.
This is absurd.
No, they're really fast though.
It's a scam.
It's easier than getting a beer on the ferry.
But
Don't you
it's a
think?
scam.
It's not a scam.
Yes, it is. There's people
Why
when
did
their
you
bag
Why
is
did you
this
use
big.
this
Yeah, it is a scam
service?
because 1,000 people had bags triple the size of
But
my
look
bag.
how fast they're going right now.
Such a scam.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Have to bring a pocketbook.
What do you think my name is?
Anthony Everett.
Wrong.
Oh, it's not?
Try again. Tim Kelly, weatherman.
Oh, Tim Kelly.
So close.
I was
How'd you like
so
the show?
close. It was great.
What's your name? Where you from?
Stephanie Monahan from Marblehead, Mass.
Stephanie?
Yes.
So, this line's going really fast.
It's going really fast. I don't think it should be a line to begin with.
But could you
You should
imagine
be
this?
able to
If the
bring your
government
own-
ran this, it would be
You
like
should-
taking us forever.
But you should be able to bring your own pocketbook.
Yeah, well, we can thank the reaction